Jeez, it's Miss M with ya. I've got these two lovely ladies with me. So we're all with ya.
Yeah,
we are.
nice to see ya.
So today we're gonna kind of do a sort of like a life hack type of thing, but more general and like down to earth. And we're just gonna see what we all have to say about
Socialization.
socialization.
Being a part of society.
Getting out of your shell.
Yep, and just, you know, getting the courage to just get out and talk to people, make friends, make connections, find opportunities.
Like we, I guess, did today, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah. And that's a pretty cool thing to talk about during VidCon because there's amazing people all over, like all around, who could probably teach us so much.
Yeah,
So true.
You know, it's super exciting, but it can also get like kind of intimidating because it's just like,
I get that all the time.
Like,
What do you guys do? Like, if you like get an intimidated feeling, do you ever like have anything? Do you ever?
Usually the way that I try to deal with it to a certain degree is like, I try to find more of like where that person, like one, what does interest them, and an aspect of like, in being a supportive friend to somebody, seeing, you know, somebody being excited or passionate about something.
Agreed. I was like this girl that today. I was trying to hope that. Like, she was talking to me about history, and I, honestly, girl, I've never been a huge history fan, but I was so happy and interested listening to you talk about it, and you get so excited.
and that was so cool as a person on the other end of that, being like, oh, I know that she's like not personally interested, but she's still like interested in it.
And I love to learn,
It's
so
connection.
I love to hear little stories and like, you know, bring me back. But and that's a cool thing too. I love that point. Even if you don't have common interests, find out what that person's interested in, and like really just get them into talking about it. And
Yeah, well, and it's a way of being supportive of that person and as a person, and like seeing that they're passionate and they're excited about things, because there are plenty of people that like, especially like you think about high school or even junior high, how if you liked something and it wasn't popular to be liked, then it was just like you hide that you hide that away and you don't talk about it.
Oh, yes.
So to be able to be a safe place for somebody, and to encourage them to express themselves, and I want people to feel comfortable in that sense when they're around me.
I think that's another thing too, to like, when you're approaching people, you know, to always be that kind of person who's just open-minded and accepting and just wants to like learn about somebody or like a situation.
Well, and that's the thing. You don't necessarily have to always agree with their point of view or their opinions or whatever that is. But the point is to listen and see where they're coming from. And
you can.
So here we have to you know, come up with, you know, start talking about interests, you know, see what interests them, get passionate about, talk about it. And what you just said just there, listen. 100% listen. Because it's so easy to like, you don't really like know someone that well, or like you're just meeting them and they're going on and like, you're maybe not feeling the conversation, you just kind of drift off somewhere. Like, I don't know how, but like, focus on the person. 100%. That's really good.
One big thing that makes me shy or introverted is actually, I used to think it was like selfless in a way, but it's actually like being insecure about yourself, where it's like, oh, I just must not be any big deal, people must not want to hang out with me. But really, that's not selfless. It's actually kind of self-centered, because you're just thinking all about what people will think of you.
Exactly.
And so if you're just thinking about the other person, how you can bless or help or just learn from or them, just thinking of the other person, it can actually take the focus off of you and actually make you a lot happier, because you're not as like worried about yourself.
Exactly.
So,
and
I'm working
in a way of like, in a way of adding.
No, that's good.
In that way,
I
like
love it.
that you're being involved in someone's life. In a way, it's like you really get to experience life in a sense in its fullest. Being able to work together and bring each other along, and there's a time to, you know, step out sometimes, and maybe, I mean, this is with careful consideration, because friends and loved ones are a good thing to have behind you, but like there's sometimes where you have to make the final decision of what it is that you're going to move forward. But at the same time, there's many more times in your life where like to bring everybody up to speed and bring everybody together, and in a way that's, I'm not saying it's more fulfilling, because learning that you can do certain things on your own is awesome, but it's really awesome. It's really comforting to know that you have that support group.
I was just gonna use that word, the support group and the network of friends, and it's easy to think that we can do stuff on our own, we can handle it, and to just take all these burdens. But it's not until somebody like speaks your name or gives you a hug or something like that that you realize how amazing and precious it is to have contact with people.
And
it's
have
really
people
important.
really speak into your lives.
And I wanted to add, you mentioned, focusing on the other person instead of, taking the center off yourself to kind of add on what you said. And I think that is also, like, in a sense to, like, put, have empathy and put yourself in the other person's shoes, or maybe, or even to a point where you think of, this is how I feel, so I'm going to respect somebody and know that if this is how I feel, I'm going to respect that for them. If you don't know anything, at least that.
It's definitely a big deal. I used to deal with this more when I was younger, but about where you kind of said this a little bit, but thinking that you had to make sure the person was right. So if they start saying, oh, I have this idea, and you're like, oh, that's not correct though. Like, I have to tell them like how it works because I know. And of course you think you're right in general, like you're gonna think that throughout points of your life, but then at points of your life you change your mind. So I mean, logically, you don't have all the answers.
And that is an amazing point, because in, like, you could say enlightenment or, becoming, your greatest version or whatever, you have to realize that we don't really know anything. We know minuscule amounts. And it might be a certain way. At one point, like you just said, it's really just, we decide what's right and wrong. And what works best for us and how it affects our life. So we really don't know anything about anything. And we're just always need to be hungry for knowledge,
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Be ready to learn from anyone, even if you do know, like, oh, this person is young, really young, and so maybe, oh, they don't know this experience that I have, or oh, this person doesn't know much about this as I do. That doesn't mean you can't learn something from them, and maybe something that you would never have gotten to learn if you had thought, I already know about that. So
100%.
Those things,
and everyone is so unique and different that they all have their own thoughts, passions, interests, and just you bringing up Hamilton to me, or like,
shut up.
Stuff like that, like little things. Or you told me about, what was it, George Washington?
Yeah, I love George Washington.
Or you know what else she told me today? She told me, like, I learned a lot from this girl just today, in a couple hours. She told me that back in the day, civilizations didn't thrive as much without the arts.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I loved that.
I think it's so cool that you actually remembered those things. I want to make a point too of like remembering.
Hey guys, in the middle of our collab, my camera died. So I just wanted to give a little outro. Those girls were amazing to talk to. We still managed to get some really good footage while my camera was still alive. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Life Hacks. Please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe, become a G, and don't forget, because there's tons of amazing content for everyone. So make sure you find out what you like best on Ms. M. So thank you guys so much for watching. Ms. M loves you so much. Peace. Love.